Hey, everybody, what is going on? It's your boy, Ron from the Melanated Council. Let me go ahead and let me get myself together, y'all. Let me get myself together. I don't think I got myself together. No, I don't. So, it's your boy, Ron from the Melanated Council, one third of the Melanated Council, and we are coming to you live on a lovely Tuesday evening to hopefully to get your day started. And so we're just coming into you live, you know? Hey, what's going on, Rocky? What is going on? What is happening? How you been, sir? How you doing? How are you doing tonight? How's everything going on in your neck of the woods and whatnot? So we got some exciting stuff. We got some exciting stuff. We got some exciting news to share with you guys, and hopefully you stick around and you know listen up, see what we got to hear. But yeah, we're good. We're good. I'm good. I am good. I am great. Just running some what do I want to call this? What am I running? I am running damage control. Yeah, excuse me. Running damage control in the background and whatnot. So we shall we shall see. Yes, can't complain. Another day, another dollar. I hear you. I hear you. And yes, yes, same here. Same here. I know at what is this? Hold up. I'm doing some weird stuff right now. So nope, I'm not gonna deal with that right now. Not gonna deal with that. Not gonna deal with that. Not gonna deal with that. Not even gonna deal with it. So yes, here I am, of course, still at the school, and we're doing Secret Santa this year. And I got our day porter, also known as a janitor. And so one of her gifts, I've been giving her gifts all week. And so this week, this is pretty much wrapping up the end of her week. And so I got her this Stephen King book. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's a really good book because she's into like murder mysteries, murder romance. And so I'm like, I'm trying to find her a nice book that she could like, that she will enjoy. And so, like, you know what? Go with Stephen King. You can never go wrong with Stephen King. But I did find a nice James Patterson book. I like James Patterson. I think James Patterson is a phenomenal author. Phenomenal author. And I'm telling you, you can't go wrong with him. You can't go wrong with him. So I know with that, I think Thursday, because Thursday we got to do the gift exchange. So Thursday, I'm gonna get her the James Patterson book that I saw that I think she might like, and I'm gonna get her 2 books. So she's gonna get 2 books, of course, a card, and a gift bag and whatnot. Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. I was just telling Rocky that we're doing Secret Santa at my school this year, and I got the janitor this time around. Wanted to get the principal, but I couldn't get the principal. Whatever. So I'm happy getting the janitor, and the book that I got for her is a Stephen King book. If you can see that, before. Yeah, I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying. That's the book I got her. So it's a Stephen King book, and then like I was telling Rocky earlier that I'm also going to yes, I'm also going to get her another murder mystery type book, but it's from James Patterson, and so yeah, oh yeah, me personally, I have, and this might be sad, but I haven't read any of the Alex Cross books or the series of books. I have not read them, but I would love. I want to. So that's probably like the one thing I would do for myself is I would just get the Alex Cross books and just start reading them from the very first one all the way up until Alex Cross is no longer in existence. But then again, who knows? Who knows? I'm a Tom Clancy fan by heart. I'm a Tom Clancy fan. I have Rainbow Six. I've played video game on the Nintendo 64 and the PlayStation when they first came out. I've played those, love those. And even now, as of this day, I have Tom Clancy's Division 1 and 2, Division 1 and Division 2. I have Wildlands. I have Rainbow Six Action, and I also have Breakpoint, Ghost Recon Point. I got that. And even then, when I had my 64, I had Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon, the first one that came out for the 360. I loved the stew out that game. Oh, multiplayer was phenomenal. The campaign was phenomenal. Like everything about that game was phenomenal, which made me fall back in love of Tom Clancy shooters as it was. Anyway, so big shout outs to Tom Clancy, big shout outs to Stephen King, big shout outs to James Patterson. Like you guys are doing your thing. And even if you don't even watch this show, don't care. You guys deserve a shout out. Another person who deserves a shout out. Man, I'm telling you. Let's say Rainbow Six, because I have Rainbow Six as a right. Started reading it, and there's a lot of stuff in there that's kind of like cut and dry, but I still have to finish it. And this book is not no little book at all. I got the thick one. And Rocky, you know which one I'm talking about. I got the big, thick one. I got that one. I got to finish reading. It's good. This part I got is good. It's really good. Really good. And so I know that's going to probably be one of my challenges for 2023 is I got to finish reading that book before I buy another Tom Clancy book. I got to. And even there, like I said before, I want to buy a James Patterson book and I want to start reading the Alex Cross series. And even if I don't get into Alex Cross, but if I get into all the other mystery books that James Patterson has, I'm in it. But without further ado, I got to bring on. There's a reason why I like this guy. So the next person who I'm going to bring on, you guys know him, you love him. He's been doing his thing. He is always there when you least expect him to be there. He's going to show up and he's going to have a good time, whether you want him to or not. This person also is the type of person who will steal your girl just so she can hook him and drop her off. He is the true epitome of what we a gentleman and a scholar, but he also is on the gambling side because he likes to play with his food in the most unsincere and unsanitary way. Y'all know him, y'all love him. Y'all go ahead and give it up for the man Toby. There he goes.
I'm on the stream again on my phone because things are just strange, but it's okay. My computer was just not doing what it needed to do, and I didn't get it. I didn't realize it was like nearly dead because it hadn't been doing that. Any case, I'm alive. Everything is good. Oh, wonderful. My work computer is also nearly dead, but that's okay. My work computer is a lot easier to manage because it doesn't do the stupid thing where it has problems while charging. Right. But because my work computer. Okay, sorry. I was hearing a lot of vibrating, but that's from my phone that I just turned on. My backup phone. So, how are you guys all doing? I'm chilling. I was trying to catch what you were saying wrong a little bit. I happened to, so I saw the notification. I was like, it's time to come on. And then my computer was doing what my computer does best, being a piece of crap.
Yep.
And I didn't even realize the power was like really low at the time. I just was like, why is this thing mega laggy? And the login, the keys aren't working for my pin. Turns out the shift key was stuck or something. Just a lot of nonsense. But I think sticky keys turned itself on for some reason. But it's all good. It's fine. I'm putting my work computer on to see if I can use that in the intermediary, and then if I can get my real computer to work eventually, that would be the golden. And it was working just fine this morning, but I had it plugged in. I should have just kept it at home and kept it plugged in, but I took it with me to work, and it decided to, I guess, drain at some point, which it should not be doing in my backpack. It should be in sleep mode, but instead it drained. And so when that happens, that's when I come to use the stream, and it turns out that it's dead because it's been drained all day, even though I wasn't using it all day. So it's fun. It's great. Honestly, that's not even like my number one need, even though that as a Christmas present would be kind of cool. I really need other things, but that's getting ahead of ourselves. Oh my gosh, Christmas, of course. Anyway, that was just like sorry, I had a bit of an epiphany. Let me check the chat and see what's happening. What's happening? Not private.
I'm telling you, Toby like this. Toby like this. Toby like, I got ice in my veins. Like I don't feel nothing. That's Toby. That's Toby.
Man. Just too cold.
Literally.
Too cool.
Literally. That man has like he got chill, but then at the same time he also got zero chill. Like, man, I ain't got time for this. You know what? Nah, I ain't got time for the shenanigans. That's Toby. That's the Toby that I know of.
I entertain shenanigans a little too much, but I'm getting better at trying to entertain less shenanigans.
I mean, Chad, you may not be too far off. You might not be too far off. That might be his middle name for real.
Sounds about right. Work, home. It does seem to be the case, but it's okay. We're getting there.
You know, like how Toby was saying, it's fine with the whole room on fire. Yeah, that's Toby. It's like, oh yeah, it's fine. Nothing happening. Or what's my movie, y'all? The Monty Python movie where dude in the night they're fighting and dude's already get chopped off and he says, "Why are you fighting, man?" He says, "Oh, nothing but a flesh wound."
Just a flesh wound. Yes,
that's Toby walking around with one arm talking about flesh wound. It'll be all right. It's not gonna stop me from doing what I'm doing. But yeah, no, It's good to see you, sir. It is so good to see you. Even if I'm looking at the roof, still good to see you.
Oh yeah,
still good to see you.
Jackson. Is that supposed to be like a streamer type thing? Jackson. I don't know if that's a famous streamer, but a catchphrase. I don't know, man. I just switch it up. It is what it is. I kind of go with the flow. It's very very. It's a living document. My life is a living document right now. Hey, Gift Shinobi, what is up?
What is going on?
The man with the art. You thought Psy had art. Let's see you thought Psy had art. You should see the gifts and the memes this man can make.
I'm telling you.
Those were good times, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness. Twitter was alive.
Hey, just make sure you don't get caught. That's all I ask. If it's just you, cool, great. But if you at work and you got like a bunch of people circling around, hey, just don't get caught. If you do get caught, have a really good explanation why.
And then don't forget to tell them to like and subscribe.
Boom!
Tell your boss and coworkers to like and subscribe. No, but yeah. Good to see you. Appreciate you checking in with us.
Right.
Because it's that time of the year. It's we always talk about, well, let me not get ahead of ourselves because we're still doing a roundtable and we still have a third person to come. So let me not get too ahead of myself.
Yes. But no, it's all good. It is all good. Because at the end of the day, we all here sitting around, chilling, having a good old time. and we do what we do best. We do exactly what we do best. That's kick back, relax, and have fun. So shout out to you. Hopefully you guys' weekend was phenomenal. I know on my end, weekend is phenomenal. And again, just to kind of get everybody caught up to speed, this is the last week on my end for our school doing Secret Santa. And so, as I stated before, I drew the janitor, and she's into murder mysteries, murder romance kind of style books, anything that has like a thrill seeker that snatches your attention. That's the kind of book she wants. So I got her a Stephen King book. And then Thursday, I'm going to get her a James Patterson book. And then I'm done. I'm not buying. Well, I'll take that back. I am buying more gifts, but not for the school, I should say. I'm buying more gifts, but not for the school. But other than that, yeah, I'm living it up, having a good old time. I know by the end of this week, might get snowed in because we're going to get smacked around with this blizzard towards the end of the week. It's supposed to be starting up like late Tuesday afternoon. No, not Tuesday, late Thursday after Thursday night.
Oh, so rip to the blizzard, but also rip gift Shinobi, because I mean that whole gift buying thing, like it's I get it, but yikes, like financial literacy. I feel like I just have to like sit down and explain financial literacy and wisdom to my family and be like, yeah, so y'all are just gonna, get my presents for Christmas. My wasn't even trying to make that pun. Your present will be my presents. That's what that is. Your presents will be my presents, exactly.
I hear you. But without further ado, I cannot wait to bring this person on. I just want to see through the holiday. I don't blame you at all, but alas, the holidays are here. And yes, you are. You're going to be underneath somebody's tree with a nice little bow that says Merry Christmas. And then you're going to go from there. But, y'all got to bring in the next person. So the triune force can be completed.
Yes.
The trifecta will be completed because this person, Toby, what can we say about this next person? What can we say about this next person as, that's fair. That is absolutely fair.
Absolutely fair. I am the present. I am the present now.
Right.
What can we say? Well, this person's presence is always a present, and I wouldn't even be mad if that was the present. If they came to a holiday party I was hosting and that was the present, I would not even be mad because they're just that dope. Fun fact: I met this person in person a year ago, like it was December last year in the beginning. So this is a very special time of the year also because I got to experience, all of the jokes and the humor, just the cool vibes in person, along with Mish. Well, I've known Mish for a few years, but Mish also got to meet this lovely person. And no Melanated Council stream is ever complete without the wisecracking, without the insight, without just the presence. Again, it all comes back to presence. It's just a hard word to get away from. And I'm very glad, Ron, if you have any more words, but that's I'm just capping it at that.
No, you're good. You're good. What can I say? I've met this person. She came out to Michigan, and it was a blast. We had a blast. Oh, we had a blast. We had a good time. And yes, I will. If this person acts like hey, Did I get her autograph? I mean, she kind of has one like right in here in this region. That's my heart. She has one right there. I got that autograph right there. And yeah, like I said, we had a blast. And if this person ever decides to come back out to Michigan again just to hang out, bet I would do so in a heartbeat. Would not care. Y'all know her. Y'all love her. Y'all go ahead and give it up for Elle. Let's go.
You guys are too much.
20.
I mean, it wouldn't be us if we didn't do it. You would be thinking something's wrong.
True. No, but like I always appreciate it. Thank you guys. And sorry I'm so late.
You're good.
Listen, you were right. You were right on time. You were right on Toby time, so you're good.
I'm done with you, sir. I'm gonna take you to sit down. I'm done. Go sit down. But yeah, I mean, tell us as what's going on in your neck of the woods. I might go in the background and work on damage control. Go for it.
Okay. Yeah, no, things have been like I was just thinking how I felt like this week was just so long. I don't know how you guys may feel, but I just felt like this was just like a really long week. Like it felt like more than 7 days, but mathematically speaking, that can't be correct. So yeah, my weekend was good. It was really good. Like my nephew had his birthday party. He turned 18, which is insane. So he's a whole adult.
Wow.
Yeah. My niece was there. She's already an adult too. She's like 19. But yeah, no, it was just like crazy to think. There was a lot of like, you know, little teeny boppers, like child adults, kid adults there. Like I don't know how old they are. I guess 17, 18. You know, like it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, no, like Saturday, I just felt like I was just, you know, like I saw my trainer in the morning and I came home, ate a bit, then I had to go get my hair done. Then I came home and then, you know, that took a long time. Like my appointment was at 2, but I didn't get seated until like 3. So, yeah. And then had to go home real quick and then pretty much just get ready to go straight to the party. So I was just like gone all day and I was like so tired because I woke up so freaking early. Like I went to go see my trainer at 7:30 in the morning. So I wake up at like 6:15 because it's not like, you know, because like going to work out isn't like going to work. You know, you can't just like roll out of bed, wash your face, brush your teeth, you know, shower, whatever it is that you need to do. The Merry Christmas.
The Merry Christmas. I like it.
Of course.
Yes, the Merry Christmas.
We have the best initials, really.
We do. Yeah. Like, you know, when you wake up early to go work out, like you gotta like wake up, make sure you have like something in your stomach. Because you know, you don't go to the gym to eat. And you have to like stretch and shit and like, you know, like and make sure like what you ate isn't going to like, you know, upset your stomach depending on the workout. Because sometimes like most of the time he sends me the workout, sometimes he doesn't, and I'm like, I don't know what to eat. It's like if we're just doing upper body, then I could just kind of eat whatever. But if I'm doing lower body, or if I'm doing like HIIT, or like doing like a bunch of cardio, then I could like really like fuck up my stomach. But yeah. Sunday, my friend came over. We just hung out all day. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, I felt like there was like, this week, like Thursday was like my job's potluck. And that was cool. Like, you know, seeing a lot of people that I haven't seen and, you know, since before the pandemic. So like over 2 years. almost 3. So like a lot of them were like really surprised because I lost about 30 pounds since they last saw me.
Mm.
Yeah, because it was like, yeah. What was that? So it was kind of fun, like a lot of them were like noticing me but kind of quiet about it, which I can understand, 'cause you never know what could be like going on with me. But but a lot of people were like, "Oh my god," or like, "Holy shit, like you lost a lot of weight. You look great." And I was like, "Thank you." Like, I like the compliments. I don't care. Like, I understand that some people are joking around, like when people reacted like that, it's like, "Oh, did she look like shit before?" I was like, "No, I get it. Like, it's a drastic change." Um, one of my friends, and this is funny. One of my friends, like she went to my Halloween party. One of my friends from work, and she said like, "Oh, I never told you this, but when I saw you in like the Sailor Moon outfit, I saw your thighs, and like when I went home, I went for a run because like I guess I don't know. She was saying that my thighs look so great that I guess it inspired her to go work out.
Mm.
And I was like, "Oh my goodness, thank you." So yeah, so it was good times. It was good times.
And so that was a holiday. What was this again?
Yeah, it was like a holiday potluck at work.
For work. Okay. Oh, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that it might be like you haven't really seen regularly, especially since you yourself hadn't come into the office until what, a few months ago?
Yeah.
And then a lot of
Yeah.
people may have just come in sporadically, but to get everybody in at the same time, it's definitely going to be more like, yeah, oh my goodness, I haven't seen you in like 3
Right.
years, type of vibe, 2.5 years.
Right. Because a lot of times either they just like, would see like something like this at work, or they would just see like literally just like this like box here. So you can't really see what I look like. Like you can't, I mean, like, it's not even like you can't see like the second half of your body. Like this is probably like a quarter of my body,
Or,
So, like, yeah, no one had ever mentioned me like losing weight, like just from looking at my face.
mm,
'Cause I feel like that's kind of a hard thing. Like, I mean, like, there's some people who are like very pregnant and you can't tell.
very pregnant.
Yeah, like they could like, give birth at any second, but you don't even know that because you only see this. Like you only see like this very top
Oh,
half.
I see. Yeah, you had no idea what's going. Yes, I get you.
Right, yeah. So that would happen a lot. Like people be like, "Oh yeah, she's pregnant again." I'm like, "Really? Oh, that's great news. That's awesome." Uh, but yeah. So that was pretty much that's pretty much, like my week. Okay. No, awesome gift, Shinobi. It's hard to go to the gym after work, like,
Yeah, that's
you know,
really impressive.
yeah, like every day. Is it because
But
like you're driving home and you have like your workout clothes in your car sort of thing? Or like you need past the gym, or it's like not too out of the way. I mean, regardless, that's still like great. 'Cause that shit's hard. I'd rather go like if I could, I would rather go. I mean, I can, but like if I had like the energy and better scheduling and discipline, I'd go to the gym like before work every day. Like if I could, I mean not every day, but almost every day. How you go home, change, then gym? Damn.
that's nice. Like to actually 12-hour shift. Yeah, what is this job that you're working, that you're there right now and you work like 84 hours a week? That's a lot. But for me, I do not go to the gym because I know you asked earlier. Like I might go out, right? I mean, it's like more nightlife, and I mean, which obviously can be unhealthy if you're like drinking a lot, smoking hookah, of course, weed and stuff. But if it's like I go out, like sometimes I go out and really like get a lot of cardio if it's like really good dancing. Oh, very cool. my company is a federal contractor as well. It's like a third party, not for profit, so it's not quite the same as Raytheon and the big boys, but we do like, you know, different engineering work, especially systems engineering, because this government needs help. People need help in figuring stuff out. I don't know if I'm the one to help them. I'm just here so I don't get fined. But
that part.
Hopefully no one sees this from my job. I don't have any of my coworkers on. I have like one person, a friend of mine from work, but she's actually she works as a security guard. For like a pretty prominent security company, I would say. But she works like some of the like front desks, and we became friends during the pandemic because I would be late. I would be in the office late, and the security guards would kind of be around when the people were doing their deep cleaning, and so we eventually became friends. But besides her, I don't have friends like that who I have any social media connection with outside of like LinkedIn, and that's probably how I intend to keep it. I mean, there are people my age, people who are young, who are pretty cool and like don't have any problem with, but I just don't know how much of a blurred line I want. Volleyball spies. Listen, I would tell you about what my job is, but you know, I have to, you know, that one.
Gotta take you out the picture. Like, you know too much. Sorry, sir.
Yeah. You know too much. Sorry, we're gonna have to disappear you real quick. Connection details.
Nice. Okay.
I want to do this. I don't know if I want to do this. Discord did another update. Discord updates so freaking much. I can't even keep up.
I think so. I feel like it.
Like every time I open it, there's like a new freaking thing of like updates, like a new little like. And I, you know, it's always entertaining reading the updates, but it's like, okay, I really don't have time to read this right now. I just need to open the app so I can, because my computer I had to keep it off so I could charge it for a little bit without it acting up. It's at 24%, but as long as it stays charging and it doesn't give me problems, I can actually switch over, which I desperately need to do. Because as fun as this being on, oh yeah, I'm on my phone now. I had to mention some computer nonsense I had when I first came on. So as fun as being on my phone is, and the lighting is like, oops. See, that's,
yeah, no, I agree. It's like you're at home in Massachusetts, or are you in Maryland?
I'm still in Massachusetts. Oh, good question. Because yeah, it is technically the week of Christmas. I'm going home this upcoming weekend, so I'll go home like right before. Actually, I'm supposed to go home on like 6 a.m. My flight is 6 a.m. on Christmas morning because it was the cheapest flight I could get outside of like the night before, right. Which wouldn't have been bad. I could have flown 8:30 p.m. on Christmas Eve, but I want to be a delinquent, and there's things happening Christmas Eve. There's like an ugly sweater day party. And I could have gone and left early, but I didn't want to do both. So I was like, or I could have missed it and just came home on Christmas Eve. But I'm like, I'll be a delinquent one last day, fly home Christmas morning, and then figure out when I'm coming back to Massachusetts, which I have no idea because I booked a one-way flight.
Oh, so this is your final, like, what about your lease?
Oh, no. When I say I have no idea, okay, that's a lie. I have an idea. It's definitely going to be like within a week after New Year's. I just don't know what day yet I'm coming back. Like, I'm only going to be home for like 2 weeks max, if even 2 full weeks. I might just go home a few days after New Year's Day. But I just don't know what day because
right.
New Year's, we get off Monday because New Year's is a Sunday. So I could, in theory, fly that day, but I'd probably want to take advantage of that day off and not just like use it for travel. So I could fly during the week, but then of course you have to deal with like getting to the airport during a reasonable time and then juggling work. I could wait until the upcoming weekend, but I don't know if I want to wait till the weekend because flights are always more expensive then. And I oftentimes want to be home, like in Massachusetts, I'm in for the weekend just so I can do weekend activity, not even just nightlife, but there's like other like events that happen, and I want to take advantage of like, the people who I'm not going to have much, it's basically the clock is going to tick, and I can get more into that like probably next week's stream. I mean, it's always relevant, but the clock is ticking in terms of how much time I have left until my lease ends in Massachusetts. Die from Pooh's point is Cisco. Other Men in Black.
Yeah, Toby, they after you. Which peoples I don't know, but right now, see, like the chat, they coming after you, big time, sir.
That's fine. I can take it. I can take it.
You can take it, okay. As long as you say you
Okay.
can take it, you can take it. You go for it.
That's good.
You,
Can't break.
Yes,
You
yes,
can't break, man.
yes. I mean, yeah,
I guess he can't.
you can't.
Oh
Right.
no, I'm still here. I just had to put the phone down in a way that made sense. Oh, I guess I could lean it against my computer. Okay, that actually works. Sort of.
You thought up to the ceiling made sense?
Well, I just put it flat because I didn't think it was going to be good angling. Because it was, if I put it a certain way, it's just going to slip. Oh, okay. It seems to be stable, but I expect it to slip like this anyway. So I was like,
Okay.
why even angle it when it's going to fall?
Good point.
Oh. Toby, that's for you.
Borscht.
What happened? Bad borscht. Oh, haha.
Hold on.
Oh man, Gift Shinobi ahead of the game with the real question.
Oh yeah,
What do you expect
ahead
for
of the
2023?
game.
I actually had a funny. There was a NSBE Boston, which I've mentioned, National Society of Black Engineers, the Boston professional chapter. There was an event today. It's like 6:30 p.m. There was just kind of like the Zoom call. They called it 2022 Wrapped. So it was kind of like, what they kind of like made it in like the style of the Spotify Wrapped, but they wanted to have questions like, what are some lessons we learned? What are some things that we want to learn for next year? What are some big accomplishments that we had this year? And so it was just kind of nice to hear people share and like brag a little bit and just revel in like what fun they had. And so I was like, huh, like when the last question that came up was like, what do you want to learn? Or second to the last question, I think was what lessons did you learn or what things did you learn? And so I was like, oh, that's cool. Like perfect timing for this stream. I mean, 'tis the season, so it's not like it's an uncommon topic, but still it was kind of cool to see it's so explicitly put. I took a screenshot, so I might actually go ahead and post that. Is it?
Uh-oh. I love Chad's answer. 20 pain, endless pain with an occasional awkward laugh. It's like that's a little too real, Chad. That's- I mean, I understand that, we got to live in the real world, but that's just too real. Man, what do I expect? Ron, do you have any expectations for 2023? We can't hear you, Ron.
Yeah, my bad. So you know what happens when you decide to kind of like go on mute to work on some other things behind the scenes while still having your camera going. If you got to turn back on your mic to start talking again, yeah, that's me. That is me.
Happens
That
to the
is
best
me.
of us.
I got a few things going on. I got a few things actually going on as of right now. So one of the things that I am doing is I'm pretty much winning myself off of like candy. So like last week was my last week of eating candy. So
Oh shit.
today
Okay.
was the first time I actually ate candy. But even then, like after that, I'm not no more candy whatsoever. And then pretty much taking it week by week. And so not this week, but maybe the following week is weaning myself off of oh yeah, I got a bad sweet tooth. I got a bad sweet tooth. I got a bad sweet tooth, but no cavities that I know of. I'm gonna say it like that. I don't know if I have any cavities, but at the same time, I sweet tooth, but as well, I'm going to kind of limit myself off the sugary drinks. So like a lot of the sodas, a lot of the juices that has added sugar, a lot of my energy drinks. I know I'm crying on the inside because I'm saying this right now. I'm pretty much going to wean myself up of that. Yes. And then from there, I am basically, for the most part, yes. For the most part, yes, because part of what I am going through physically, as far as health wise go, it's I want to say I'm not in the best condition in the whole wide world, but I know last week I was sicker than a dog, like sweet last week, and I'm like, man, I don't like this feeling, like being constantly sick. Like this has probably been this year alone. I've probably been the most sick or had the most like whatever going on than any other year. And it's like, okay, oh yeah, agreed. Which is the reason why I was like, I'm cutting stuff off little by little. And I know talking to the missus because she got a juicer from one of her clients and whatnot. So we have a juicer. And so she's like, how about we start making our own juice? I was like, okay, cool, great. Like, let's do it. And I'm sick of you, Rocky.
Right.
The shadow realm. Yes.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
There you go. Good answer. And so, pretty much regaining back my health. And even then, I just re-downloaded a app on my phone, and I was paying for it, and it was doing some results. There was some issues that I had to kind of like put that off to the wayside, but now I'm bringing that back on. Yeah, well, I wouldn't say buff, but maybe more so like cut, if that makes sense. Be more so cut, and even then, because I really don't want to get super big, I still want to maintain like that 190, 185, but with like more muscle than anything else. And I'll be fine. I'll be happy because I'm not even trying to be like super diesel and then no. I just want to be like stevia. I tried it. Actually, I tried it. Was it earlier this year or last year? I think both times. I think I did earlier last year. I did it, and then earlier this year I tried it, and it's one of those things where I got to get used to it. But even then, like when I make my coffees, I drink my coffees black. I don't add sugar and I don't add coffee creamer. I don't add it in there. When I drink my teas, I usually do honey, and that's the only sweetener that I use. Other than that, anything else extra, I try to stay away from. But, and again, I know with stevia, it is an acquired taste. I tried it in my coffee once and almost spit my coffee out and got mad. I was like, can't do it. Because even then, case in point. Like I said, I don't drink sugar. When I drink my coffee, I don't drink it with sugar in it anyways. I drink my coffee black. Drink it black. And so because my taste buds have been so used to drinking my coffee black over the years, whenever I get something sweet, I'll probably take one sip of it and then I will not touch it ever again. I won't touch it. Not even gonna ask. Not even gonna ask.
Sugar is very addictive. Yeah.
Not even gonna ask.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's like that's just how I've literally weaned myself off of like cappuccinos and iced coffees and all that other good stuff. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
True.
Yes, it is. And even then, like today, I wanted something sweet, and I didn't even touch the like little box of Christmas candy that I got. I ate it when I got home. But even then, like I had a packet of these fruit, the apple slices. Oh yeah, munched of those throughout the rest of my shift, and I was happy. I was good as a lark.
Yeah.
Hey, Sample.
Hey, oh my gosh, love you too, man.
Yeah, I love you too. So good to see you. I'm glad that you came by.
Cut sugar out your diet, your face will not be bloated.
I believe it.
Specifically, yeah, I mean, I could see it. I actually wondered too because there was a time where my cheeks got a bit puffy. Like it was around the end of the summer last year, and normally I've always been a very skinny kid, underweight, like rib cages were doing their thing, trying to jump
We're
out.
popping.
They were popping. Yeah, what's popping? They were Some people got their biceps popping. Some people got booty popping. I had the chest, unfortunately. So when I got to like a more moderate weight, but still pretty skinny coming into college, like at I don't know, was it 160? And then end of my first year, good old freshman 15, and it put me at 175. But honestly, that fluctuated. By the time every year after that, I was stuck between like 160, 170. So I honestly never really kept the weight on. And that was like 4 years of college. In grad school, maybe I'm pushing 170, but I'm still not very up there. And then I feel like working full time, I didn't always have a scale around, but I feel like I kind of hovered in the same weight. COVID really messed it up where like I definitely went down a lot. Some people gained a lot of weight, but I definitely lost a lot because I don't think I was eating as consistently. And then but then sometime last year, I think I was around people. Sorry to bring it up, but it's true. I had friends cooking for me a lot.
Don't apologize. Never apologize for that.
Never apologize. But it was like life. And it was summertime. I was a little bit active, but I ended up gaining I was in the 190 range. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. And I actually looked in the mirror once. My cheeks were like a little rounder. I was like, this is like, I mean, it's not like I was big and like chunky, but I was like, whoa, I did not look anything that I looked around last year. And then sometime this year after I moved, and even by the end of, probably even by beginning this year, there was a point where easily there was a point where I was in the 150 range. Like I was in like 158, and that was the lowest. I don't remember being in the 150 since basically coming to college or grad school. So I really lost a lot of weight. I think partly from the stress of a lot of stuff this year, and just also I wasn't eating nearly as much. And so yeah, it's just interesting to kind of it's just interesting, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. And to answer Sample's question, we're kind of like mid late 20s, so about that early 30s in that age range. Nobody's pushing 40 that I know of. As far as the three of us goes, that I know. In this man is drinking wine on come on, Toby. So classy.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
So classy.
I was supposed to make a whole thing out of it.
So classy. And he swirls it.
This is for Chad. This one's for Chad in particular.
Hey.
Actually, the thing, Brian Tyler Cohen, he's like a pretty prominent, I would say, Democratic kind of activist. He was doing this thing with Codify Row, so Codify Rose. And so the proceeds, and of course probably donated to different battleground states, or even just efforts that were dealing with women registration, blah blah. So it says it's unfortunately flipped, so you can't really read it, but it's Codify Row, register voters, And you can see Brian Tyler Cohen at the very, very bottom.
Ooh, I like it. I like it.
So I ordered this like literally it was like I was like, this is like a useless donation because I ordered it like days before the election. But I was like, I need to order this, even though it wasn't going to come anywhere on time. So by the time I got it, it was like it actually came a few weeks ago, but the FedEx person knocked and was barely there. So by the time I like get to the door, there's a little note. I didn't know it was mine. I thought it was my roommate's. But when she called the number, she actually confirmed that it was for me. And then they had put it in some facility, and I got the wrong address. So I actually ended up it like I didn't have time to get it like within like the last few weeks. So over the weekend, I tried like Friday, I tried getting it, and excuse me, I got to the wrong facility. So then when I go to the other one, they're already closed in like a Walgreens. Both of them were FedExes inside of a Walgreens. Not really that close to my apartment, the same town, but like 15 minutes easily driving because of just how spread out the town is. And so yeah, literally today I went to go to the FedEx after work because I left my office pretty early, like 3 something. So I was like, okay, I can miss the worst of the traffic. Picked up the bottle, drove home, and only opened it just like an hour or 2 ago.
I think for me it was like 2018.
I've actually never carpooled.
It
Well,
was just like one time because my car was down, and one of my friends from work like lives near me at his previous job. No, I don't think my car was down. I think I was gonna take a flight right after work, so I didn't want to take my car. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think the next job I don't think I carpooled with anybody. Yeah, I think that was the only time, if I recall correctly.
I had a what do you call it? And so that was you back in 2018. So this was like same company, right?
No, this was like two jobs ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For me, it's funny because my last time was kind of 2018, but I was an intern at my current company, and the guy I was carpooling with, I actually need to reach back out to him. He's a friend who I was in grad school with, and he's actually the one who helped get me the apartment I was living in Massachusetts. And so he got like, because we were gonna look at apartments together, but I never was able to like make it it was like from upstate New York to Boston, and it was like a 3-hour drive, which isn't that bad for like a weekend, but I just couldn't pull it off. So he found an apartment. He's like, oh, actually, there's one more room. So if you want to sublet, you can sublet under the roommate whose room he was whose room it was, and the lease was actually ending in August. Because sometimes it can be a little tricky if you're signing a new lease. But because it was a lot of the summer leases in Massachusetts, or I should say leases overall, they end in September, so September 1st or October 31st, really. So it actually worked out really great. That I was like, okay, I'm gonna be here from June to easily before the end of August. So I just had to like do a little paperwork online, send him the first like payment on Venmo. It was super chill. And so that was to the guy who actually like was the tenant. And so my friend helped get me that spot. And so because we were both grad students in like similar departments, and he was my ride every day to work, but he worked at a different company. He worked at Booz Allen Hamilton, which, if you guys don't know, is a pretty big IT contractor. I feel like their name doesn't come up as much as Raytheon and like Boeing, but like Booz Allen is still pretty big because I think in particular IT is their big focus. So they're like one of the largest IT contractors in the country, especially for the government. And so he was working there, and so it was so crazy because it could have been like completely opposite direction, but neither of us worked in Boston. Both the town that he worked in Lexington and where I worked in Bedford, Burlington, were neighboring towns. So it actually wasn't hard for him to drop me off every day. He just dropped me and picked me up. And then he went to his job, and I just paid for his gas, which at worst was like $30, maybe close to $35 a week. Nothing. Compared to trying to do an Uber where one-way Uber can be 20 something. So I was like, I'm happy to do that. So but my actual like, and I'm working at the same company where I was an intern. I've been working there since 2019, really. But the only thing I did do was I rode home with a friend because I actually saw him today, but like he was on the different side of the cafe, so I didn't get to say what's up. I forgot, but I met him through like some of the diversity because he's like black, so I met him at some diversity stuff in 2019. And I remember when I met him, it turned out we were both in the same apartment complex. I was like, what the heck? Because it's like a popular apartment complex that was just brand newly opened. It's not huge, but like it had a lot of space. And so it's 10 minutes north of, like 12 minutes north of my job, like extremely close. And so I had just moved in there. He had moved in maybe a little after me. And so there was a day where I saw him at work, and I think I didn't have my car because I don't know, I was just having some problems. So I had to like Uber to work. And this was 2019 because this was definitely before the pandemic. And so I remember because he leaves early, he leaves like 4:15. So I was like, oh my God, because he really wants to beat traffic. And honestly, you're not going to beat traffic at that time just because of how things are set up. But I rode home with him and I was like, oh, this is so cool. Like I'm riding home, but I never like set up a regular thing because I never like leaving to be done and get stuff done to leave before 4:15 was like impossible. And in fact, my friend who I carpooled with back in 2018, like who worked at the other company, even when I worked with him, or I didn't work with him when I lived with him, we would get to work super early, like easily leaving by 7 something. And I would get to my office, if not before 8, then shortly after 8. And then he would pick me up at like 4:15 p.m. We usually would never try to go past 4:30 unless he was like, I have to stay late for work. Then we would purposefully wait till like after 6 so that traffic wouldn't be terrible. But we never would leave late in the morning because obviously we, want to have good performance. So we would never leave late to try to like miss traffic. We would just have to like leave as early as we could. So anyway, carpooling is not really much of a thing, but it would make more sense to have like looked into carpooling more seriously, especially when I didn't have a car consistently. But COVID was weird, hybrid work was weird. I didn't even know if people still live at the same because I don't live in that town anymore, so I don't even know who lives near me. 2021 girl took me home to her place. It's also the same time I learned. Wait, what's going on here, Gift Shinobi?
I don't know.
Actually, I need to go back and look at what's going on here. 10th line. Yeah, I saw that 10th line.
I would say you go ahead and you look back, and I'm going to jump in and answer this question. Let's see. The last time I carpooled with somebody was 2019, just at the start of the pandemic. Coworker of mine, because we both worked at the same place and both worked in the same area, and so my car got smashed into twice. Not my current car, but I had another. I didn't want to park it in the driveway. Like, okay, I think my car would be safe. Mind just the wintertime. Get a knock on the door. It's the police. It's like, hey, just want to let you know that somebody smacked the rear end of your car. I'm like, holy crap, are you serious? They're like, yeah, it might have been a hit and run and whatnot, but do you have insurance? Like, yeah, I got my insurance and everything else. No, it's 2018. I talked about. Wow, so everybody was carpooling in 2018. Are you serious? So, it was 2018, and then in I almost want to say like after that incident, I was like, you know what, I can't really move my car because I don't want to mess it. I don't want to mess it up. So I left it there, and probably like 2 months later down the road, it got smacked again. And so I had to basically total my car out, and she was basically giving me a ride to work from 2018 all the way up into 2019. And even then by 2020, when the pandemic fully hit, I was like, she's like, you want me to pick you up? I'm like, no, I'm not coming into work because I don't feel safe. I really don't feel safe at the job, and even then, it still took me a while to get my current car. So I got my current car literally on my birthday of 2020, and I've had it ever since. But even every so often, I might get a ride to go to work, but that's every so often. As far as carpooling goes, like I said, 2018, 2019 was the main. 2018 through 2020 was mainly the time I used carpooling, like for real. Other than that, good. I am good with that. Hold on, I gotta find that message. Excuse me. And then move down. So, yeah. Hopefully, I agree. But we got to make a quick pause in the action because there's some other stuff that's been going on.
I just had to say quickly that 2023 is going to be a great time. I'm salty, but I also had no choice to get a car when I got it. Like, there was no way I could have pushed this to like next year. Like,
what's up?
I'm already living on a prayer. Sorry. Are you saying to me, or am I cutting out, Ron, or are you saying?
No, you're good. You're good. I thought you were going to say something real quick.
Oh, I was. I don't know if it wasn't coming through, but I was actually talking and saying stuff. But then you said, "What's up?" So I was like, "Oh crap!" It was my audio cutting out. But I was just saying that,
yeah,
because the car market is trash. It was trash this year, and it's getting a lot better. Like, you could drop car prices by 20%. I just saw an article today. And I was like, so I'm salty, but I also had no choice but to get my car now. So I don't regret not waiting until next year, because there's just no way that I was gonna like have the bandwidth to like either not have a car or rent cars, which already was doing too much damage. Like, I'm already living on a prayer. I'm like, my credit cards have been the real MVP, but that's a whole different conversation for a finance related stream. But no, so it's gonna be interesting for people who want to actually get in the market now. Like, this is gonna be actually a really, really good time to see car prices go down. Get me a 3D printer real quick. You can do additive manufacturing. Get me a car. Just real quick, borrow the 3D printer at work. But no, it's sorry, but that was just my little. I had to like, I got not triggered, but like inspired. I got moved. You could say I got led by the spirit to speak about that. Credit cards going. Yo, that's how your credit score goes up, right? By increasing your utilization. It's a positive correlation. You want to max out your cards to max out your credit score. I did hear something about UFOs, but I didn't look into what that was about. Okay. There was like some thing that they denied, or some kind of thing that was covered up, or I don't even know. There's always weird things with the UFOs. But you were wrong gonna say that there's interruption because of
Yes. Wait. Not the poverty speed run. Like that.
Is it going to be hosted on Twitch like Poverty Done Quick or something?
Yo. All the way up.
More than likely.
They're just going to keep buying shit on like PlayStation 5 online.
Man.
Do a speed run.
Man.
Trying to get my bank account down to negative 5,000.
It's actually crazy. Oh, yeah, how low can we go? All the way to the flow. It's actually great because you can just spend money absurdly quickly and like that's it. So if you want to like get your credit score to go way down, because I've heard that the lower score you have is the better. 23, I'm buying so much crypto. I don't know. Like crypto, I've been burned already, and I'm kind of like giving it a side eye. I was doing really well up until things went haywire. Even before the FTX nonsense, there was a lot of other nonsense that happened over the summer and not early spring, but like May, like early. It's a weird time, but it was like almost the second half of the year. And so I'm not selling my investments because it's like, well, I already sold one thing that I regret selling, but I had no choice at the time to offload that. But yeah, crypto, I don't know. Like I would like to, but I need to like really focus on other things in terms of purchase. Because it would have been nice if crypto panned out, and then it's like, yeah, I can put all my money there. But when you just put money in and it just doesn't get better, it's like, well, that's great. Yes, this is actually amazing what you just said, Mish. All I can say is I got to buy a house with my profit from the last. Yeah, like if I had really seriously, I mean, congrats. That's a huge congrats on that. If I had like seriously invested the way that I did when I invested in like some of these coins earlier, it would have worked. But I didn't know that like everything was just gonna go haywire. Well, 2 coins in particular. One that I really should not have even touched, and the other one I could have gotten away with. Doge was the one, honestly, that like I could have gotten away with, but wasn't doing that well over the summer, and so I cut my losses at some point after months. Normally, I would never sell I never sell at a loss, but months were passing, and I was still at a loss. So I was like, this is ridiculous. And so, of course, like within a week or two after selling, the price skyrocketed above like my minimum, my average cost. And so I lost. I'm not going to even say how much because it's absurd how much I lost, but it was much better than what I could have lost. And so with another coin that I've refused to sell, even though I should have, I'm like, I'm not getting burned again. And of course I got burned because FTX happened. And this coin is apparently very closely linked to FTX. So that's great. That is wonderful what's going on over there because there just goes all that money. But I'm going to reinvest in it when I have more bandwidth. The mistake I would make was using a lot of the extra cash to invest, hoping things would pan out and you could kind of sell it to pay off other things. That didn't really work. So now I'm like, we're just going to let that sit and just chill. And we're going to pay down other things, making sure car payment and other things are good. More importantly, credit card debt. And then we're going to go back to the crypto after things have decided to like get their lives together. Mish, can you check my credit card? Oh, man. So I technically started crypto at the end of 2017, but at that time, that was right when there was actually a huge peak, and then there was a big crash early 2018. That was before things like Coinbase existed, but like that was really when things were not as clear on how to invest. You had to really get these wallets and do all these things. Now it's much more democratized. Like Coinbase does not have the crazy fees that they used to have. They're not great, but they're not as bad. Robinhood, of course, was a big game changer. So I invested on and off since like 2018, but I never reinvested at the lows because I was a grad student. I was like, I don't really have money like that. I had money, but it wasn't like something I wanted to play with. I was more interested in Robinhood and stocks because that's actually when I started investing, was 2017, and I did really well with the stocks at the time. I don't know. I'm actually down for it. Like I'm gonna talk to you on the side, GIF, if you have any like links or you want to send. But I just have been a little bit like, there's some people who are able to make big money off of it, but clearly I'm not one of those. And so, no credit score, no social security. Listen, I want all the good benefits of being on the grid and none of the bad. No utility and rent payments, no credit score, but I want public infrastructure and goods. Heck to the no, Rocket. Actually, maybe I should have, so that way I could have resold it at a crazy price in terms of the Trump NFTs. Because $99 is actually a pretty dang good price. But I've never bought an NFT before. I'm not sure I really want to go down that route. Yeah, I learned a lot of lessons. Oh, lesson learned. Don't freaking sell. There's actually, I don't know what lesson I learned, except don't play with fire. But oh my god, I just love this right now. I want to get into more into like I want to rebuy a lot of stocks, but I haven't been buying more stock because I haven't been wanting to put my money into it. And so, unfortunately, I'm not taking advantage of some of the drops that have happened, but it just doesn't make sense right now. I need to refocus on some of like the debt and other things, and then also saving money for some big moves, like when I move back home next year, if I move home next year, if I travel, buy land, not art. Oh yeah. I've heard that actually a lot of big companies like Microsoft and others are actually really looking seriously to buying land in the metaverse, like an absurd amount of money spent on buying that kind of real estate. And I was like, whoa. But I just don't want to get into anything tricky where it's like I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to invest in something, and Lord knows if I'm getting any returns. So, but yeah, part of this topic is kind of like, okay, this whole month we've been talking about preparing for the future. Obviously, it's the time of the year where you can talk about goals and sort of what you want to change in the next year and reflections. But it's also like, let's just be like, what are some lessons sometimes that you've had to learn very hard and harshly that you've had?
Yes.
Because, I want to make sure, before you just go for all these aspirational goals, let's look at what actually went right and wrong this year. And it could be even lessons you learn outside of any kind of resolution or goal you set. It could just be a random like goal that's more along, or it could be a lesson that you've learned just from like a work-related, friendship, relationship-related thing, economic. It could be not even something that you explicitly set a goal for and then you had to sort of deal with. It could more just be, what are some lessons that have been learned that you've just kind of happened to learn unexpectedly? And so I'm glad that the crypto thing came up because that's a good tie-in where there's a lot of financial things that I learned, for better or for worse. And definitely a lot I learned with car shopping, which I may not need to use anytime soon again, but I need to keep in my head so I don't make some of them weren't even mistakes. They were just shadiness by like dealerships that I didn't know I would have to deal with. Like really shady type stuff. $120 each, but it will go lower. Shibu Inu Meta. See, I can't because if I buy that and then it just like I'm just like, what am I gonna do with that? Am I actually gonna like flip that into anything? Invest in what never invest what you can't afford. Yeah, number 2 is definitely where I screwed myself up with Rocky. And normally that was never a problem because I always use extra. Like in grad school, I actually had a decent stipend. It wasn't great, but I lived in upstate New York where my rent was like $333. So what am I really going to do with all this extra money? Put it into Robinhood because I literally started investing that year. Robinhood, Acorns. What a friend told me, and this is basically kind of financial advice stream. If you have a rent or like a big payment, like a credit card or some payment that something that you're specifically paying off over time. So credit card, I don't know, it can be a little tricky, but if it's something that you have like a set payment for, like maybe you took out a personal loan for a big project or you have student loans and then you pay it off, a good strategy is to keep taking that money and put it into your savings. So that way, because you're used to the money coming out anyway, so you might as well take it and put it into a savings account or something that you consider savings and so I got told this at this like Black for Computing conference by this one guy who was a grad student. I was like, yo, this is really good advice. This is pretty awesome. So when I moved out of my first grad student house, it was $825. It was like a grad student housing, $825 a month. And that was for like a 3-bedroom. The numbers don't scale. So like a 4-bedroom is like $750, a 2-bedroom is like $900. But it's still super cheap. Like you can't have a single, but you can still pay like $900 with a 2-bedroom. But for the town of Troy, New York, and for the grad student stipend, people say it's overpriced, and people tell you not to live there. You can do cheaper. Honestly, I lived there my first year, paid $825. I don't care. It was fine. Then I found another apartment that was like $333 for 3 people, so it would have been like $1,000 a month, but $333. And I took the difference, which was like $500, and just put it into like Acorns for investing. and that actually built up quite a lot of money over time. Eventually, I cut back on that because I started like dealing with other expenses. But that was like a really good one where it's like I was investing in things that I could very well afford to lose because I was literally paying that difference part of my rent. And then I would get like, just I had money just to like play with. Ironically, like I was making so little money, but I had so much extra because the expenses I had were not that much. And so at some point when I moved to Boston working full time, I actually stopped investing a lot because I had to deal with a new car. Well, like a car. I was paying a lot in rent, like $2,010 at one point. So I'm like, I'm paying $2K a month. I'm paying $400 for my car expenses. So I'm like, I don't want to really put money into towards investment right now. And so that was fine. But at some point during the pandemic, I don't know, like I was okay during the pandemic. It was 2021 that things got a little shaky, and especially this year, where I was like, oh well, let me just like go into these investments and hope things blow up, which was like very not smart. But I was like riding the optimism high from all the Dogecoin and the AMC. AMC, I will say that I actually did make a little profit, but not a lot. But I had a big loss that I would have taken, so I was able to average down and then sell it when it went back up. Not like nothing huge, but just to get my money back. So AMC, thankfully, GameStop, I think I would have a loss. I have not reinvested in that. I love how Mish, you'll message me on like Facebook or elsewhere whenever GameStop goes back up, and I'm like, I'm not touching that thing again unless I can really like average it down. I'm just gonna pretend that I never invested in GameStop because I bought it like on Stash because GameStop got locked out, right? Infamously, GameStop got frozen on a lot of platforms like Robinhood, but Stash still let you invest. So I invested in it at like $300 like an idiot, and immediately it went down to like 200 something. So I was like, well, there goes that. But then I invested in Robinhood on GameStop when that was lower. So technically I made a little of the money back on a cheaper price on a different platform. But I know I was not going to go all in on GameStop because I was like, we're not doing this. So 500. Yes, GIF. Absolutely. Gym is one part of it, but focusing on yourself is a huge thing in general.
Yeah. No, for sure. So like what was the question again exactly? Just like what 2022 has taught us?
Yeah, like that's the funny thing is I kind of got off a little bit, but
No, it's fine. I don't think so. I don't think you really.
I think
No,
like
you really didn't do it.
I
Right.
appreciate that. I appreciate that because I was like, oh, hopefully this is coherent. But essentially, yeah, I went on a little high level of like some big things that I learned from 2022. Linked it directly to some of the conversation from like the crypto stuff, and so I kind of kept it mostly on that end because there's other lessons I could talk about, but I at least was like, this is kind of round one of what I learned in 2022. Unfortunately, some of these lessons are less than pleasant, but I feel like it's important to share them and kind of do a little autopsy.
For sure.
And there's some cool things that I get to share probably later, closer to the end when we wrap up. Oh my God, Gabe. I wish I had that foresight. Are you kidding me?
I know.
Even when it was 5 cent, I remember in our like Melanated Council chat, like Brie and some other people were talking about Doge, and I was like, I'm not touching this thing. 5 cent sounds way too high. Imagine if you bought at 5 cent, like you would have still made a killing because it jumped up to like 70 cents.
Right.
I mean, it wouldn't have been anywhere near the other kind of killing, but you would have made like 6 times your money.
I first bought Doge, and I guess I should have just bought a lot more when it was at 0.008. Like it wasn't even a cent yet. It was almost a cent. So
yeah, that's good.
Yeah, but like I didn't really make much because I started buying it even more, and so I like ended up losing money. But I definitely should have just like, just probably just bought a lot. But I can't even imagine. So it was 440,000 Doge at 0.0002. Like, I'm trying to do the math. times 0.0002. So you only spent $88.
Yeah, that's a really good investment.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that point, you would have had to. Because I remember when Doge was getting popular, I was like, "Where can I buy it?" Because at that point, it wasn't on Robinhood. It wasn't on. It definitely wasn't on Coinbase. So you would have had to have really found something like Kraken or like.
I always feel like Doge was on Robinhood.
Not until much later.
Okay.
No, he's right. He's right.
Not until
He's
like
right.
2021 because 2021 was when it hit its peak, and it got on Robinhood maybe in the spring of that year. It was not very long, like because that was also when they didn't have wallets. So some people didn't like that because you couldn't really own your crypto; you just had to buy a representation of it. Then eventually, crypto wallets became a thing sometime this year, which is cool. I mean, I didn't really care because I wasn't really trying to transfer the Doge elsewhere because for me, I was probably going to try to sell and make a profit anyway. So I wasn't really super pressed to like be in the Doge ecosystem and have it in a wallet so that I can use it for purchases. It's 2019.
Right. Like I remember
Yeah.
like yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was
That's
it was definitely before like the big like yeah.
Maybe it was just for people who wanted to own it and not deal with Robinhood's kind of nonsense. Maybe that was what it was. But 2019, I didn't even know they did crypto back then.
Yeah. Yeah, like I
Yep,
feel like they did
yes,
crypto.
they did.
Yeah, they did crypto because I joined Robinhood like 2017 from
That's
like
true.
a friend from work.
Yeah.
And I remember crypto probably got onto Robinhood maybe like the following year.
Yeah, no, that's
Like,
true. They did have crypto for a while because they only at one point had Bitcoin and Ethereum, Ethereum Classic, and then Litecoin. I think that was like it. And then yes, they did add Dogecoin at some point. Robinhood has gotten actually pretty legit now. Like they've added a lot of altcoins. 2023, I'm investing in myself. Yes, Mish, you better preach it.
No, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember like Litecoin was definitely there. Yeah, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin were definitely there. And I always felt like Doge was there too.
Yeah,
like,
so fair enough. I guess I just missed that then. I wish I had.
It was Coinbase. It was Coinbase that was late to get it going because Robinhood had Doge way before, and I remember when I've had a Robinhood since 2015, 2016. I had Robinhood since then. They were kind of pretty much getting into the works of getting cryptos because of course Bitcoin was still pretty much high and it was pretty much the coin to buy. And so they were working out a lot of the kinks as far as having people set up like their account in order for these cryptos and all that stuff. Doge, man, 2019, I almost want to say it like I wouldn't necessarily say because I actually signed up for it when they were going to release it. And I remember that. Because they were getting ready to release it where you could do Dogecoin on Robinhood. And I was like, okay, great. I want to get in. I want to go ahead and get signed up because everybody else was talking about doing it. I know for sure Coinbase, they were late to the game. And you see it on there on like their crypto side, but as far as trading it goes, it was still kind of like a little wonky, but you can still buy into it. So what was it, 20? Because I've been doing that one in 2021. I was able to buy Doge. That's enough of that and whatnots, because that's going to lead me into some stuff that I learned some really hard lessons as well. Learned some
Yeah.
really tough lessons. 2021 through 2022. Learned some really tough lessons.
2021's fair game
Especially-
too, honestly.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Especially like
Mhm.
2022 for sure. 2022 for sure. Especially like the financial aspect. And especially when it came to a thing, yes. Yes. Learned a lot. I learned some good things. I learned some not so good things. And it was like, okay, let me allow to put what I've learned into practice. So if I wanted to get back in the investment train again, I know what to do and I know what not to do. And pretty much follow those simple rules and go from there.
Right. That's all you can do, you know.
Oh
Life
yeah.
keeps going. So I'm not sure what to learn from it. Yeah. Yeah, I've lately just been spending a lot of time just thinking about, you know, other ways to make money. Like, even though, like, because, you know, like things are scary. Like, I guess because, like,
Mhm.
you know, with like a lot of those like tech company layoffs, you know, it was like, you know, it was just sort of like eye opening where you never know it's a little nerve-wracking how like your whole like livelihood is pretty much like tied to a job, you know, like, and
Mhm.
this country like even made it a bitch to even tie like your healthcare to your job, you know. So like if you lose your job you lose everything, and that's terrifying. So like for you know, past couple of months especially, I've just been, you know, like just like working hard, like pretty much like every weekend I'd go to like a coffee shop and like just either work on improving my skill set, work on learning new skills, work on, you know, like personal projects that can get me, you know, hopefully somewhere, because I've just been like, I don't know, like it's like a mixture of wanting more money, wanting to feel like financially stable. I don't feel like unstable, you know, I don't feel like, you know, like I'm living like paycheck to paycheck and like freaking out or anything. Like I'm pretty fine. It's just like it's just kind of scary how like that can just change very suddenly. So, you know, I've just been, you know, just like trying to find like different ways, different avenues to just like, you know, like make money on the side, to no avail so far, but like, you know, like I'm working on that, working towards it. And that's just, you know, that's just like the most we can do. You know, that's just like the most I can do. Value to society's measure based on your career. That's very, very true as well. So I've just been like,
Mhm.
you know, figuring out different avenues and different ways to like save money. Like one thing I want to do is open up a high yield savings account. Um, so it seems like there's some where you don't really need like money to start, which is good, but you know, I definitely want like my money to be working for me. And I just feel like they never give you the answers as to just how to make your money work for you. Because it just seems like you're just literally working for money, but money should be a tool that um, that helps you, not hinders you. So that's definitely what I want to do. I want to open up a fucking Roth IRA, something I've been telling myself to do for fucking years. I don't know why the hell I haven't.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, I guess like when you're like at this age, you're like, yeah, I'm still young, but it's like I don't have as much time to fuck around, Like I still got time to fuck, but like I have to like fuck around smartly now. I can't. It's like I've already found out.
I was supposed to I was looking at that graph of the found out and the
Yeah. No, like I've been up, down, all around that graph. Like I have found out. Like it's like I don't need to fuck around much more. Like I need to like, start fucking around in the right direction. like okay, let me really start like fucking like putting my money where it should be, or like in places where it can. Like high yield savings accounts, literally something I learned this year, if I'm not mistaken. I follow Your Rich BFF on TikTok and Instagram. No more time to fuck. Yeah, exactly. 2022, fuck around. 2023, find out. Yeah, like I was following, like, and she keeps mentioning, a high yield savings account. That's something you should just do, because like, if you're like, let's say on like, I don't know, like Chase, Bank of America, what have you, your savings account is a low yield savings, so it's like 0.1% and something like stupid. So like, like the interest they give you is like literally pennies, and it's like pretty fucking insulting. So a high yield savings account is literally just a savings account, but it's like like 3% APY. I've seen some that are like 4%. Like, so like I'm gonna try to like open up a high yield savings, and just kind of just keep my money in there. They have like some stipulations, some of them, like you can only take money out of it or like transfer like 6 times a month, which is fine for me, because I don't really like, I don't really plan on like really like putting a whole, like taking a ton of money out of it. It's usually just for like I don't know, like I guess if I have to make like a ginormous purchase and I don't have it in my normal savings. Good that you're looking into it now. One person you can check out on YouTube is Pocket Watching with JT. He gives some fire financial tips for different strategies depending on your goals. Get the Roth A's. Yeah, I know. I should have gotten that shit like years ago.
That's the thing is, does your company have a type of IRA that you can invest in?
No, I don't think so. I think we have a 401k.
Okay.
Right.
I see.
Right. Yeah, I don't think because I would have definitely noticed that.
Okay, I know there's like the whole traditional versus Roth. Yeah, no, for real.
Yeah, no, I'm about that too. So I want to do a Roth and just like try to find like some sort of automatic investment, just put money into it like every paycheck, even if it's like $50 or anything, like something's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
agree.
I have 401ks, so and like my company does like a really great match percentage too, so that's good.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's like where my mind is a lot. It's just like really just like just like focusing on money, making it, and like also like figuring out what I want to do for like the rest of my life, how to just like be happy. Like I meant like with what I'm doing, like I'm not saying I'm not happy with my job. Like I do love my job. Like my job is the company I work for is great. it's just like, I keep thinking like, is this what I want to do for the rest of my life? Like, do I just want to like, work for myself? Do I just want to, do I want to do both? Like have a full-time job and then like, do my own thing on the side, which is, I guess, is kind of like what I'm currently doing. Like, I don't know if I want to do like the freelance route. Like, it would have to depend, because like when you're a woman working with clients, sometimes, especially like in the web world, they can, I don't know, like I feel like they just like question your intelligence. Like I had like a really bad experience that just turned me off from it. And it's like, yeah, you're a massive waste of time. But
You said the what world?
the web world, like
Web world. Got you. Web email.
yeah, like web development, email development. Like what I'd rather do is just like create email templates and like sell them digitally online somewhere, and then just I feel like that's a set it and forget it type of automatic investment. Here's what they call passive income.
Yes.
I'd say, I mean, I don't know about 2023. I'd say maybe like 2025 having some kind of passive income, unless I could maybe really start planning out my future and actually write it down somewhere. Because, yeah, I gotta create some better goals, or like some more concrete goals rather than like some vague goals. Just like, I just want a lot of money. It's like, well, how do you make a lot of money? I don't know. Got to figure out what kind of skills I'm good at, and then actually work towards that. But I actually do enjoy like working on things. Like I do enjoy, like working on my podcast. Like that's a lot of fun. Like the editing aspect of it. Like it's never lost on me that I am learning a skill that I could, put on my resume or utilize it in other aspects. Whether it's, I don't know, doing things on Fiverr or something. Yeah, no, the people controlling our country do want us stupid. Like, it's fucking sad. Like, it's really fucking sad. Like, like occasionally I think about like, because like I do feel that people are afraid of success, and like there's like there's times on occasion where I'm like, like what if I were to go viral again and somebody were to like come across my podcast and like start talking shit about it, or like I were to get big, and then like this is like all like fantasy, and like the likelihood is probably not that big, but like, I always think like how people are going to perceive me or like think about me. And this is like these are just pretend people in my brain, and it's like, even that's like kind of stifling, just like a thought of like, holy shit, like how is, society or whatever going to perceive me as. But, I can't really let that stop me, because A, it hasn't happened yet. And B, people are going to perceive me however they perceive me. Like, that's not, like, nothing's going to stop. But,
right.
But to get back to what Gift Shinobi said about people controlling our country want us stupid. I remember seeing a TikTok where it was essentially saying how like everything is made to kind of distract you. To kind of just like like live a very like mundane life. Like you work like your full-time job. Like you work so many hours, you come home, you're exhausted. You only have like so few of time to like eat, or you have like a long ass commute home too.
Yeah.
And you only have so much time to eat, then you just eat in front of the TV, and you go brush your teeth, get ready for bed, wake up the next day, do it again, and then you have Saturday and Sunday to like try to like do things, and then Monday starts right over, and then it just keeps, you know. So like essentially, like they were saying, like, you know, like TV is a distraction, social media is a distraction, like, you know, think like, you know, like shit, like even like books or something, anything to like waste your time is like a distraction, just to kind of keep you happy and satisfied enough that you can kind of just keep going, but not too, I guess, successful to the point that I guess like you realize, if that makes sense. So like, you know, like you see like the shit on Twitter, like whatever the fuck Elon Musk is doing and saying, and you know, whatever arguments and crap and bullshit we may see on like TikTok and Twitter and social media, but like men need to be doing this, women should act like this, and blah blah blah, and this, and it's like, you know, like I can't help but just like remember that TikTok where it's just like everything's just a fucking distraction, because it's like I'm probably not going to meet these people. I may meet men and women or people who like have these beliefs, but like how much am I going to like fucking care about this person who I might meet? Like if I can't have like a genuine conversation with them, then it's like adios, you know?
Deuces.
Right. So I always try to like remind myself to like, because it's very easy to get distracted. I understand that there are important distractions. Like, you know, you can't just be focused and on the grind or on your shit like 24/7. Like you'll go fucking crazy. So like, yeah, like of course like read a fucking sci-fi novel. You know, like of course like, you know, like watch a comedian on Netflix. Like of course like do the things that, you know, like will just kind of take your mind off of things and keep you at ease. But like you also have to, you know, like do things that are, like you can't do that just for everything. That can't just be your sole cure. Even like just going to the gym can't just be your only cure. Like you have to, you know, meditate, do yoga, eat better. You gotta talk to your friends. You gotta like go out and like do things. Like you know, like I don't know, go play like fucking like frisbee or something with some friends. You gotta like do things. You gotta like, but you can't just let social media,
Destroy
TV, yeah, just like have it be like all encompassing, you know, and that just be your whole entire life, your whole, you know, because then those thoughts aren't yours. Like they become like you're just literally parroting the thoughts that you see over and over and over and over and over and over again on TikTok and social media. Like that's one of the reasons why I deleted TikTok, because I was just like realizing that I think I've mentioned this on the stream before. Like they like to call people sheep, but I really don't think people are sheep. I think people are more so just parrots. You know, like you hear one thing over and over again, then you just kind of just like parrot it out, and then then like when somebody tries to ask you to like explain it, when someone tries to ask you or like tries to like, you know, challenge your own thoughts, your own beliefs, you can't really do that because you literally don't have any fucking thoughts or beliefs. Like you have, like, you know, you have like nothing concrete to even back up your own thoughts and beliefs. You're just holding on to these thoughts and beliefs because you keep hearing them over and over and over again.
That's
so yeah, so I do plan on, you know, like deleting my other social media. Like I wanted, like I've been fucking procrastinating like crazy about sharing some like pictures on Instagram. Like it's literally my last thing. It's like it's like, okay, once I share these pictures on Instagram, just do it, Al. Just share the fucking photos.
Oh man.
Just share the pictures. Then I'll just, you know, get rid of my social media.
Oh no.
For like a month.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, but then and just on my phone, I might still have it on like my desktop if I
Okay.
you know, like I might log out. I don't know. I'll still debate that, but I definitely just want like a massive, like, you know, just like break from it, because I think it'll be good, because I don't think I've had that in God knows how long. Like all of my socials, you know, like I'm starting to wear off.
Yeah, I respect that though.
I feel like the distractions cause the riots. Well, I guess it depends. Like sometimes like social media programming causes the riot. Sometimes like I don't know. I always feel like social media is always kind of like behind it in some form or some fashion.
Mhm.
Because either people voted some type of way because of social media, thus causing the riots, or they were too distracted by social media to realize what the government was doing, and then they realized, thus causing the riots. You know, like,
Mm.
so I could be totally wrong. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I actually there was a. I think there was this project I was trying to. I'm trying to remember if this is the project that I was working on or if it was related, but it was this industrial engineering. I mean, there's a lot of interesting things you said, but like this one especially, like there was this project that was basically saying how does social media mobilize protests, and so they were looking at some of the because this was summer of 2017, so I mean this was after a pretty big year of like Black Lives Matter protests that happened between what 2013, 14, and they ramped up again in 2016, with like Alton Sterling, there's the big one, Philando Castile. There was other things, and so there was some like, hey, like how is social media being used for mobilization? Like, what are the steps that you see on social media that actually, like, you can geotag, look at certain geographical tweets or whatever, and trying to see how like that correlates to the on the ground activity. Now, I guess on a broader sense, yeah, you could have some algorithmic nefariousness where like certain things that and I'm not like downplaying the importance of protesting and justice, but like there's certain things that maybe get a little bit more incensed than they would have if not for
For sure.
certain algorithmic,
For
you know,
sure.
foolery going on. So I definitely think like that's a pretty valid thing for you to mention in general.
Yeah. One thing I've like I did want to mention. Well, I guess like two things. I have like well, one school of thought has nothing to do with this, but the school of thought, kind of to piggyback off of what Toby was saying, when he mentioned like if it's like they were just like even like a little bit more incensed, enraged.
Mm.
Um, that kind of shit like matters a lot, because I don't want this is gonna sound cheeky, but like a little goes a long way. You know, like I'm sure you've heard, you know, like those motivational speeches or whatever. It's like, what if you just put, you know, 15% more into what you do? What if you put like you know, like you're going 50% all the time. What if you went 75% kind of thing? And it's like, oh, and you know the whole point is like just like an incremental amount more, and it's going to make a difference in the long run. I remember years ago, I was like, I don't know, talking to somebody about something regarding like racism, like the like you know like the racism, of course, that like we definitely like really notice and see is like the things that are just even more like, you know, blatant, and then like we have like you know like smaller things like microaggressions.
Mm.
And I think like one thing that I mean, I guess I don't know if this is like a form of microaggression, but like I think one of the things that like we don't really talk about, but like, you know, especially us as like Black people, that we, you know, notice is, you know, like let's say we're waiting in line to like order some food or something at like a fast food restaurant, and you see the cashier, you know, she's like nice and more pleasant to everybody else, but when she comes to you, she might, you know, her smile may just drop like
Mm.
5%.
5%.
You know, like just to you know bring it back to the incrementalism, and that little bit is just like it can hurt. Like, you know, you'll just be like, well, why like, well, why me? You know, and like what's going on with, and like that little bit can just like, but if you get that little bit in so many different interactions, not even like just that day, but just like that month, that year in your lifetime, like it adds up, and it really does like affect you to the point that it's like, is there something wrong with me? Am I crazy? You start to kind of look at yourself in like a slightly different and like negative way. So, so like, you know, like further go on with like social media, like even if you're not totally like right, like even like, you know, like a little bit can sway your opinion. A little bit can, you know, make, you know, like have you lose a friendship. A little bit can make you, you know, like what Kendrick Lamar says, like a dollar just might make that lane switch. Like just that little bit can really just like, you know, like push the needle and completely just change things that normally wouldn't have. And I think that's like what social media like kind of does. It just pushes the needle slightly. I feel like TikTok it fucking like annihilates the needle and just like pushes it way off screen. But like, you know, especially back in the day, like Facebook would like definitely push the needle one way. Twitter, Instagram, I don't know. My Instagram's not really political, but I'm sure other people's are. But yeah, and that's exactly what they're trying to do. Rocky said, like, what if instead of 100 push-ups one day a week, you did 20 push-ups 5 days a week? This was actually like kind of in the realm of like my other school of thought that had absolutely nothing to do with this, but like, I guess, you know, still in the realm of incrementalism. Like, what 2022 another thing has taught me is consistency. Yeah, I talk about like working out all the fucking time, but it's one of the easiest things for people to understand, and like also it's like relatable, and it's one of the, I guess, one of the quicker ways of seeing progress. Like it's not like it's not immediate, but it's, you know, it's definitely like quicker. Like one thing I definitely was, you know, mentioning, like one of the things I definitely learned is just like, yeah, just always going to work out. Like it's just to do something. Like even when like you really don't want to, and most of the time you're not going to, it's like you really just have to show up for like your tomorrow self, like, because you got to show up for like your future self, because, you know, it's like if you want your future self to, I don't know, like get a little bit more cut, if you want your future self to, you know, gain more muscle, eat better, get clearer skin, fit into those jeans that make your ass look nice, whatever it is, you got to start with like your today self, because that future self can never happen unless like you start with your today self. So you're not doing it for your today self, and it's kind of annoying because it's like you are your today self right now, and it's like, you know what you want right now, so it's like, how can you actually just like put that into your, you know, your tomorrow self? It's like, okay, it's like, so I'm just working for, I guess like you're just working for like your future self, but like, and then one day your future self will be like your today self, I guess, with that. So what is, I thought go for just 2 pints of ice cream by accident. Hey, no, that's good. Like,
Hey,
I love it. Like Amazon does shit like that to me occasionally. Like there was this one time I ordered like this. It was supposed to be like one packet of something, and it ended up being 3. It ended up being like the 3-pack. I was like, oh, perfect. Like this is fantastic.
Hey, it's better than what I needed.
Right, because like
Right.
1 pack is already kind of expensive enough, so they just gave me a 3-pack. So like, this is perfect. It's like, this is just what the doctor ordered. Yeah, Al,
Yes.
when you mentioned those motivational speakers, I remember one saying that quote. Yeah, like just like it's like moving incrementally. Yeah, I can't really remember my train of thought, but like yeah, essentially just like keeping consistent, showing up for yourself when you don't want to. Like that's kind of like what I've been trying to do, especially like this month to get ready for next month, because it's going to be like the New Year's resolutioners for like packing up the gym for the next like couple of months, and yeah, I'm like not really looking forward to that because I I like going to the gym when there's like barely anybody there.
Mhm.
Like like who doesn't? Like no one's like, yay, everyone's here.
Yes.
I love waiting on a machine. Getting out of bed counts as depends on how you get out of bed.
Yeah, if you get out of bed in like the most macho way possible, the most like athletic way, you don't just like slide out or roll out like I kind of ish might do.
Yeah.
Well, my bed is raised up. Well, it's not that raised up. It's not that high, but it's not something I would not want to like fall out of my bed. I have a hard floor, no carpet, so that's not it.
When do you work out at 4 a.m.? Like when do you go to work? You said you work out right after work. You go home, you go home, you change, and you go to the gym. Oh, and stay hard. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
That's one thing 2022 taught me, because when I did that that podcast with Gil, and he was like, "Are the 20 miles a day guys, you talking about David Goggins?" Like some of my friends just kept sending me David Goggins shit. It's like I'm not like a fan. Like, it was funny though. Like it was hilarious. I was like, okay, now I know David Goggins way too well.
I know this guy more than I ever wanted to.
Yeah. I mean, I do like his like philosophy, like I respect it. But it's like that's just extreme. Like never if you're starting out, never go to like the extreme people. I wish there were like more like beginner people like on Instagram and stuff, but like those aren't the things that get the clicks. Those aren't the things that are that are sexy. Like we all want this, but like what do you click on? The guy with like the shredded abs. Like the guy who's like 6'4", shredded, constantly shirtless, wearing like hoochie daddy shorts. Like that's what everyone's clicking on. Like
And so, and I realized that I had like not seen a bunch of the things in the chat, but funny enough, I was thinking of online courses. Like when L, you mentioned the whole like get something that's gonna give you passive income like a template, and I thought, oh yeah, people actually can make courses online, make that, but like something that people want to actually pay for, right? And so that's weird because I saw Gift Shinobi's thing about checking the Twitter chat, but I missed Chad's thing about buying a lotto ticket and buy one that has a legal obligation to pay out, and then what Rocky mentioned with creating courses like these relationship gurus online, something like A to Z of getting ladies cooking for me. I mean, as a joke, like it could be kind of a fun little thing, but it's like this is not a well perfected skill. Are people going to pay for something that you can't replicate per se? And a lot of things I see online are free anyway. Like a lot of these things that talk about confidence and how to text. Like I happened to look at something, and apparently there's this thing called Text Guru or Text God. There's something about like this thing about how to text basically, so that way women are not like basically just ghosting you, and it's actually very interesting because a lot of it was free that they were showing, and it was just free advice, and I was like, this makes a lot of sense. Why you text certain things and you don't get texted back, why you can't follow up with someone that you actually connected really well with when you met out at like a party or something. And so like a lot of those things are already free, so it's like, okay, how do you get someone to pay for something that you can already get at least partially free, where you pay maybe for specific things,
right? Like
best text that you can use.
Well, I would say like let's say you had like let's say it's like Like it would depend. Like if you had like, let's say like 5 courses, like 5 videos of like some kind of series. Like the first 2 could be free, then the other 3 you'd have to pay for. That, that's one like marketing way. Like the first 2 have to be really fucking good.
Yeah.
And like it's not even like the next 3 need to be like great either. It's just like they fucking paid for it, so who cares?
Yeah.
So they could just be it could just be like kind of decent. That's one thing. Another thing could be like affiliate marketing.
Yeah.
So, like especially like if you dress well, or if you use like a particular like beard oil, or like your glasses, hair, like whatever it is that like that you have, you could be like, hey, you could use my my link below to get like this cool shirt from like ASOS. This cool shirt from Steve Madden or something. I don't know if Steve Madden even sells clothes. I know they sell shoes. But, like, like whatever. So like, because it's like, oh, this this handsome suave guy is getting all these women. He's wearing this shirt, looks good. It's nice and pressed. Thing about that is like you also would have to like invest in lighting and making sure like like everything that you're like it's like being like presentable, so you can like actually see it. Those are like the 2 biggest things. Like the hardest thing I feel like is just like is marketing yourself, because like you'd have to use Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. I don't know if we've talked about this, but like, of course, like video podcasting is like a great content creator tool, because it's like long form. Like let's say it was just like Toby, giving advice about like dating. One thing, like Toby, he's a handsome black guy. He also has ADHD. So like this can be like I mean like it's to get more niche. So like like it's like, hey, like I'm black and I have ADHD and this guy has women cooking for him. Like that's that's crazy. Hey guys.
You're on advanced Toby time. You're on like you're never late though. Party always starts when you show up.
Facts.
Right. So like it's like if get more niche, true. But like it's like more niche. But yeah, so like you're like you niche down. It's like, okay, black men with ADHD, how to get women to text them back, or how to get women to like them. I don't know, like to attract women. This is actually like a big thing, not necessarily black men with ADHD, just men in general. Like supposedly men aren't having as much sex as they're, I guess, owed to society. I don't fucking know, but like apparently they're no, I'm kidding. Like it, they're not developing sexual and romantic relationships at as much as like previous years and generations of men, and a lot of it just comes down to developing connections and actually like genuinely liking women, and learning to like and love themselves, and figure out what they themselves like, and not really just expect things out of somebody rather than or just assume that they're owed something. So trick women into thinking you're listening. ADHD and soy faced. I mean, that would that would be a good thumbnail title, unfortunately. But like, yeah, I read that too. They aren't having as much sex. Yeah, so New York Times bestselling off the ways of the WAP.
Ways of the WAP. Oh my god. I still need to well
no, you don't.
We're gonna He's like, no, you don't even know. You don't even know. You're like, no, that's a no. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Toby, that's uncharted territory. You might want to be careful.
2023, I have a great idea. Like, I'll have to workshop it offline, but the what is it called? Like the uncharted app ideas, or like throwaway. That's it. Throwaway app ideas or business ideas that we're like not afraid might get stolen. That we're going to share on stream, because I have a thing or two about Uber XXX or whatever you want to call this.
Sex in the car.
Well, delivery, or basically democratizing sex work, I guess.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh. Huh. I mean,
we're going there.
This one girl, she actually posted on Snapchat, like, some of you guys just want like a pussy delivery factory. I almost swiped up and was like, I mean, thankfully I had sense and I didn't comment on it. But I remember seeing her post that, and I was like, I mean, listen, as long as the woman has full control over like the way she makes money, and it's not like I'm sorry, P. Juliet. Wait, when did you get here? And I'm sorry if this is the first thing that you this is the first thing that you're hearing.
Yeah, Toby, come on, keep going, Toby. You got to see it through, my boy. Got to see it through.
Got to see it through. So
Sir, this is a YouTube.
But anyway, we're not gonna get too deep into that one. Too deep, pun not intended, but might as well be. Hi.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Yeah. But long story short, I wanted to say that like long form video podcasts are great because you could take snippets of it and share it on like TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and things like that. And then of course link it to like your long video.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of different formats when it comes to that, like, because there are those like long form. Oh man, there's so many things with these dating coaches and these websites and like alpha male strategies and whatever. You have the live streams, you have people who join whatever. Like, I never really got into it, but like I would. I remember one time I mentioned, for some reason, I think I'm starting to get recommendations from Red Pill or Red Pill centric, and I'm like, I'm not searching these things. So what is going on? I'm seeing like clearly not Andrew Tate level things, but things that are more like
Andrew Tate-esque.
I
Like
don't know. I mean, Andrew
adjacent manosphere.
He's different. Like, I don't even know that much about him, but what I've seen, like, I just checked out his Twitter like some weeks ago after he got unbanned, and I was like, what in the world? I was like, this has to be a parody because this is not real life. Like, people don't actually talk like this. What did he say? He was like, guys don't walk fast. Like, walking fast is feminine, or like don't be in a rush. You walk slow. Don't like. If I find a tweet, I'll send it. But I was like, is this a real thing? Like, what are you doing? Thankfully, like, people in the cool tees were like roasting him because like they were parodying his style. Or like, why is this man more concerned about like men than? I mean, nothing wrong with like men edifying other men, but like, so why is this man concerned about other men are and not women? Like, this man needs to have more focus on other guys. I'm getting all these escort ads. What the hell? I don't know. I mean, I keep getting these spam Snapchat things. KQD, I found your profile, yada yada, and I'm like, I just need to stop. Alpha Man strategy.
Yeah, Instagram's been getting crazy with that. Like, I keep getting like likes on my stories of just like these obviously bots. Like, and it's like, I don't know, like half naked women. It's like, why? Stop. How do you even find me?
It's like, this isn't even attract. Like, it's just like, I'm not even like turned on. Like, what are we doing right now? I just get my Snap blown up, people adding. I'm just like, what? So I need to make my thing private. Do I need to like change my? I don't know. It's kind of a hot mess. But I feel like it's because they beget more. They get it and then they send it out to their spammers, and I'm like, oh, well, this is wonderful. Excuse me. It knows my desires.
Algorithm does not lie, except
Yeah.
when it does, it goes way too extreme.
Yeah, and at that point, it's like, how do I recorrect? without creating an entire like nuking everything and making a whole new profile. If even that helps. You've been searching, I really haven't been. I don't know. The funny thing is I didn't even know who this man was, Kevin Samuels. Like, not really. Like, I'd heard his name, but I didn't really know who he was. I knew of him from Fresh and Fit, and I only knew that because that was shared within our Discord early in the year. And so I'm just like, I'm not even like, it's probably because I started looking those videos up, and that just started a whole spiral. But it's not like the main thing that I always see. It's just at one point when the algorithm decides to do that, that's what it's going to do. Like Infinite Colors, he mostly does reaction videos, but he used to do more of like responding to certain things that are simpy or talking about how, like, I don't know. It's a little bit of a hard slide to get into. And I'm like, I can kind of see what you're saying, but you're kind of doing a lot. No, I'm not promoting anyone. I'm just like, I see these people, and I'm like, maybe people know who these guys are and can like help me out because, and I see if I'm losing my mind. I would send me would be the same as my wife and other friends would send me. Yeah, and the thing is, I don't even go on TikTok to like look and scroll through the For You page or whatever. So I don't even know honestly like what my algorithm really is. Like TikTok, thank God. Like I'm not actually. I just uninstalled TikTok of like some time, mostly for space reasons because I don't actually use it enough to be addicted to it. But I uninstalled it mostly for space. But I was like, hey, that's off my phone now. And similar to you, Al, I need to post a lot of things. So that was like a big thing where I was like, let me at least backlog post things on Instagram and TikTok that I had made certain comedy videos that I kind of mentioned. And I posted 3 of them. One of them like right around Christmas Eve last year. The other 2 I posted sometime in the new year, like maybe January. And I was like, I have 1 more to post, but it's not finished. And how can I finish this video I started recording like a year ago? And I'm like, do I even want to? Because it's just such a pain. But I feel like compelled to finish certain things. I'm the Sigma.
I hate these fucking Greek letter shits. Like,
I'm the Delta because I'm the change that you guys need.
right.
Inspiration for change. I'm just gonna call myself a Delta male.
Man, that's funny. Cause never mind. Nope. Never mind. I'm not even gonna go there. It's great.
Everything is fair game. Everything is fair game, so don't hold back now.
Like the sorority deltas.
I'll say I just like to fly Delta. Like anything outside of that, I'm not messing with it.
Fair. Yeah, no Delta variants. Only Delta Airlines.
Yes.
Spanish weather.
But Rocky's right. Kevin Samuels was critiquing dudes years before he got famous, and he started like talking to women, kind of like downtrodden-ish women on his show. Then he got kind of famous when he said like, "Oh, you want this particular guy, but you're average at best or something in terms of her looks."
Yeah.
And then he just like he skyrocketed and went viral. I just want us to go through a zombie apocalypse. Like I'm not ready for the zombie apocalypse yet.
I feel like Gil mentioned something about the zombie apocalypse, like something like a week or 2 ago about being prepared because of something. And I was like, well, it looks like we all have a skill. Like I can eat through whatever.
Yeah.
Yes,
So at least, I can help ration the food.
Oh my goodness. Yes, you could. No, that'd be fun. That will be fun. That'd be hilarious.
Freaking zombie apocalypse. I don't know. I can't.
I mean, they do have like live simulations where you get stuck in an abandoned house or an abandoned building, and it's you and a group of friends. You got to make it out of the abandoned structure, and yes, there are like zombies chasing after you, and it's almost like real life situation. But yeah,
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I went to his channel after he like just died, and then I was looking at like the old videos back when YouTube let you sort. Like I don't know why they changed that, so now you can't see old to new. You can only see the newest or the most popular. But
Yeah.
when I went to look at his oldest, yeah, it was just colognes, ties, things that were just like, here's how to like keep yourself looking spiff. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. But I guess that one has its own niche, and then as my friend Deanna would say, like he got famous from basically dragging black women. So I guess there was a higher market for that. And then it was what it was after that. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. And then, yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, and that's what became gold, where he just kept talking about, I guess like having kids or like being over 30 and single kind of thing. And it was just like, yeah, and pretty much just like how black women were pretty much like at the bottom. I've heard, like, I've like watched like videos, not like clips. It was like videos where essentially he was saying it. Finding your niche. I love it.
Isn't it spelled like Niche?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's finding your niche? Okay, I get what he's trying to say now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when you mentioned the thing before, I had gotten the pun or like the reference. I was like, oh haha, the finding your niche. And so yes, that's absolutely golden.
No, I mean I've like tried, like I've watched like some of his videos, and like that's some of the things like I was gathering where it's like pretty much just kind of putting black women at the bottom. Like I want to say they took all his videos out of context. from what I've seen, it was like, pretty much saying like, oh, I was down in Miami and I saw like, a black woman with like Russian women, I mean, black man with like Russian women. I've seen black men with like Latina women. And it's like, and like they're like this, and like how they treat the man, and blah blah blah. Like black women aren't doing that, but I was like,
okay, I see that. So he was like on that type of like, yeah, because I actually remember seeing something like about like us black people talking about, oh, we need to go to Brazil and find these Brazilian women. And like I remember, because I'm trying to remember if this was a post or what, but basically maybe it was someone like saying that they saw this, and the post that went viral was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure they don't want your nonsense either. Where it's like, if you think you're gonna go to this country and be like, oh, we need to find these like big booty Brazilians or whatever, like like are they gonna put up with whatever, like whatever way that you feel like you can't get away with treating black women a certain thing, I'm not sure you're gonna get much better elsewhere, because you're gonna be the same person doing the same thing. Unless you just have like really bad just like resentment towards black women, and you treat them bad off the bat, and then you treat others better. But like if you're the same, then you're not gonna. I don't know. It was kind of funny though, but like.
Gift Shinobi, are you in our Discord channel? Like, if you want, you can share the video there.
Yes, definitely join the Discord. I meant to mention that when you mentioned the Twitter chat before, because like we don't really be as like we're more active, I would say, Discord. Plus different now is kind of like a little different audience, more directly related to the stream. People controlling our country want us to, but yeah, that was the old comment.
But that's only for Twitch.
They can still get the if you guys can get that link, because also I sent it to I should have posted up on YouTube. Nope, no, it didn't. Hold on. I got you. Boom. Wait, yes. Oh, there you go.
All right, see you, Chad.
Chad, bye.
And congrats on the coach.
Ah, yes.
It's a nice coach.
Yes.
Yes, you too.
You too. Have
Yeah.
yourself a Merry
Yes,
Christmas.
indeed. Appreciate it. You as well. This is the last stream before Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're gonna have to start wrapping up now too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We're gonna have to. But yeah, no, like yeah, definitely share the Kevin Samuels video in the Discord.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, no, we could definitely talk about it there. I think that'd be perfect.
Agreed. Definitely
Yeah.
agreed. Definitely agreed. So
Hmm.
we appreciate you guys for pulling up on us. We appreciate you guys for hanging out with the conversations. And as always, please, please, please check us out. You want to put it under general? Put it in the general?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
That'll work.
Crap, what's wrong with this?
Oh, sorry, yeah. I think general's fine. Okay, I see it.
Sweet.
And MTR get Comic in Vegas. Okay.
Yes. So again, good Lord. Where was I at? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the engagement. Thank you for every little thing that you guys have done, because without you showing up, we wouldn't necessarily be here. But even if you guys didn't show up, we would still do this just because we just like each other's company at the end of the day.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we just love each other's company, even if we live like, hours away, hours apart still.
But it's always better when you guys are here.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
No offense, y'all, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, that was great.
And a smash. Ha! Wait a minute. Why do you think about Nigel Thornberry?
I know, me too. Smashing.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
Smashing. Yes.
I actually forgot about the I only read like books, but never really saw the actual movie or shows.
Oh man.
That's a good show. I would watch a couple of episodes. Like it was good.
Yes. Yes. Okay. We're out of here, you guys.
Alrighty, y'all.
Oh, sorry, but yep, we're out of here.
Yes.
Good night.